Hello and welcome to Comprogis, the home of Celtic languages and culture. My name is Rhys Saunders, and today's video is going to be about nouns in Brittonic. It's going to be about Ostem nouns in the nominative case. In Brittonic and the Indo-European languages, the nouns have something called declensions, and a declension shows you how that noun acts in the phrase or sentence. In modern English, word order normally dictates how the noun acts in the sentence. So, for example, if you have the boy kicked the dog, you know the boy is the one doing the kicking because boy is first in the sentence. If you say the dog kicked the boy, you know the dog is the one doing the kicking because the dog is first in the sentence. But often in these ancient languages, word order isn't as important as it is in English because of these declensions. Although in modern English we do have leftovers of the declensions. You can see this particularly in the genitive case or the possessive case, and that's when you add an S to the end of the noun. So you take the noun dog, and if you want the dog to possess something, you add S, so it's dogs, like the dog's ball. So that's just a brief summary of what a declension is. Now I could give you a chart which shows you all the cases and the declensions of ostems, as most people do, and just leave you with that. But I don't think that's a very good way to learn. I'm going to teach you case by case. So first now I'm going to teach you the nominative, then next I'll teach you the accusative, because I think that that's a much better way of learning. I don't know if anybody else has done it this way, but that is the way I'm going to do it. So the nominative. Now the nominative means that it's the subject of the phrase, which means that it's the noun doing the action. It's also the form of the noun you're going to find in the dictionary and the standard form of the noun, if you could say that. The reason these nouns are called ostem nouns is because in the nominative singular they end in an os. In gender they can either be masculine or neuter. Now we won't go into gender too much now, but later on I will explain how the gender affects other things like adjectives. In another video I'll probably do this. I'll just go through the masculine and the neuter forms for now. Let's begin with the masculine. The first noun I'm going to give you is going to be in the singular, and that noun is the word for man, and that is viros. Viros. Man. Viros. Viros. The next singular masculine ostem I'm going to give you is the word for servant, and that is vasos. Vasos. Servant. Vasos. Vasos. Now, here's a little bonus for you in Brittonic. It has no definite or indefinite article. So, in Brittonic, they have no the or a. So, viros can mean man, a man, or the man. Same with vasos. It can be servant, a servant, or the servant. Now, I've used these two nouns together because they can be used in a predicate noun phrase. A predicate noun renames the subject or re-identifies another noun through a linking verb. I can keep both the subject and the predicate noun in the nominative when doing this. So here I'm actually going to give you a verb, and that verb is the third person singular form of to be, and that is esi. Esi. Now esi can mean it is, he is, she is, or just is. Esi. 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 So now we're going to form our first sentence, and that sentence is, the man is a servant. Esis viros vasos. Esis viros vasos. The man is a servant. Esis viros vasos. Esis viros vasos. As you can hear and see, after esi, there's a little s after it. Don't worry about this for now. Just go with it, and I'll make it clearer to you in a future lesson. In English, we have singular and plural forms of the noun. In Brittonic, we have an extra number, and that is the dual. So we have a singular, a dual, and a plural form of the noun. And as you can guess, The dual means there's two of that noun. So singular there's one, the dual there's two, and the plural is any more than two. So to form the dual, we'll take the singular form of the noun, take os from the end, and add o. So viros becomes viro, meaning two men. Viro, two men. Viro, viro. And the same with vasos. So vasos becomes vaso, two servants. Vaso, vaso, two servants. Vaso, vaso. So when we form our sentence this time, the two men are two servants, or in English, more accurately, it would be the two men are both servants, or the two men are servants. We're going to use a different verb. Just as we do in English, we don't say the two men is two servants. We say the two men are two servants. So I'm going to give you the third person plural form of to be, which is sinti, sinti, which is are, or they are, sinti, 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 they are, or are. So the two men are two servants. Sintis viro vaso, sintis viro vaso, sintis viro vaso. Sinti is going to be used in plural and dual constructions, so that's a bonus for you there. Time to learn the plural, which is three or more. So same as before, we take our os stem noun, but we replace this time os with e, and that is a long e. So os is going to become e. So the word for men is weary, weary, men, weary, weary. And for servants is wasi, wasi, servants, wasi, wasi. So remember I said before that sinti can be used in plural and dual sentence constructions. So we're just going to use sinti here again. So for the men are servants, we're going to do sintis viri vasi, sintis viri vasi, sintis viri vasi. The men are servants. Sintis viri vasi. That is all I have for you on the masculine. All masculine os stems are going to work in exactly the same way as that. So if you know any, you can try putting them into singular, dual, and plural yourself. Or you can try making sentence constructions using esi and sinti. If you don't know any other masculine os stems, don't worry about it. Practice the ones that you do know from here, and I will do an os stem vocabulary video in the future. Now we are going to move on to the neuter. So a nominative neuter os stem, instead of ending in os, is going to end in on. And the first nominative neuter noun I'm going to give you is the word for fort, and that is do non. Do non. Fort. Do non. Do non. The second one I'm going to give you is the word for ash, which is lotwon. Lotwon. Ash. Lotwon. Lotwon. So now again we're going to create a sentence, and that sentence is the fort is ash. Esis dunon lotwon. Esis dunon lotwon. Esis dunon lotwon. The fort is ash. Esis dunon lotwon. Now, in most cases, with os stems, the neuter and the masculine are going to decline in exactly the same way, which is what is going to happen with the dual here. So, same with the masculine. You're going to take your singular ending off, which in this case is going to be on, and we're going to add o for the dual. So, do non is going to become do no. So, two forts, do no, do no. Two forts, do no, do no. And two ashes, lotwo, lotwo. Two ashes, lotwo. So again with our dual sentence construction, the two forts are two ashes, or the two forts are both ashes, or the two forts are ashes, we are going to use seinti again. So, seintis duno lotwo. Seintis duno lotwo. Seintis duno lotwo. The neuter dual was the same as the masculine dual, but the neuter plural is going to be different. The neuter plural is going to add a long R to the root. So forts is going to be duna, duna. Forts, duna, duna. Ashes, lotwa, lotwa. Ashes, lotwa, lotwa. So the forts are ashes. Seintis duna lotwa. Seintis duna lotwa. Seintis duna lotwa. The forts are ashes. Seintis duna lotwa. And just to clear up any confusion, nouns have to stay in their own declensions. Wiros can't become a neuter by becoming wiron. That's not possible. So if we're going to take a sentence like the men are ashes, we're going to do seintis wiri lotwa. Seintis wiri lotwa, where wiri is the plural with the E on the end for the masculine, and lotwa is the plural with the R on the end for the neuter. So I'm just going to leave you with a simple little test, which you can do if you want, and that is to construct the sentence, the fort is a servant. The fort is a servant. I want to make a little note on the masculine plural before I finish this lesson. Now I have the masculine plural as E, but before it became E, it would have been oi. So in older Brittonic, in early Brittonic, the word for men would have been wiroi, not wiri. So men would have been wiroi. Now if you want to speak in an older version of Brittonic, you are welcome to use wiroi. The other note I would like to make is that it's possible that the masculine plural could have actually been oos. Now, both oos and e would account for the modern Brittonic forms, and evidence for either of them is pretty scanty because we don't have any written documentation of Brittonic. All I can say is that the accusative plural has oos, so it could well have been oos, but both Goidelic and Gaulish have the long E for their nominative plural or stems. It's very possible that it could have developed independently in both of them languages, as it has in Latin, as you can see with the word viri for men, viri, yes, it's the same in Latin as it is in Brittonic, but I personally believe that it would have been a shared development in the Celtic languages, or at least oi was a shared development, and then it became e in all of them because of the same or similar phonological environments. And also, I'm taking into account tribal names, British tribal names, like Cartu Welauni, where the Welauni is actually the plural of Welaunos, which is leader. So Welauni is leaders, so Cartu Welauni is battle leaders. You are welcome to use whichever form you see fit. So if you want to use wiri, like I have, or if you want to use wirus, that is completely up to you. If you want to do your own research on this, which I advise you do if you're interested in the subject, as I advise you do with any subject you're interested in. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that you never take anybody's word for granted. If you want to know something, do the research yourself. Anyway, check out the book Towards a Relative Chronology of Ancient and Medieval Celtic Sound Change by Kim McCone, 1996. Has some very good information on this. That is all for the first lesson on Brittonic nouns. If you did enjoy it, please like and subscribe. I'll have a lot more of this stuff coming up. And as always, Diolch yn fawr, gyrf agat, and thank you very much for watching this video and paying interest into this fascinating subject.